Hello everyone. You might be wondering why this video starts with a black screen. It's because I want to talk to you about the most underrated game in history.
Valkyrie exfiltration will be waiting. If you make it that far. Bro, what the hell is that? You're in for a fight now. Do me proud.
This is Warhammer 40k Darktide. This is the best melee-focused, team-based tactical shooter in history, and I joke you not. And most people don't realize it exists. While the gaming history chases battle passes, shallow live service systems, and soulless early releases, one studio quietly mastered something almost nobody else can do. Combat that actually feels real. Every swing has weight. Every gunshot has purpose. Every enemy can overwhelm you if your team falls apart. This is not a power fantasy. This is a survival through skill, positioning, teamwork, and controlled violence. Built by the Swedish studio Fat Shark, Warhammer 40k Darktide throws you into the endless industrial nightmare of Tertium, a collapsing hive city drowning in corruption, fanaticism, and war. And somehow, beneath all the chaos, Fat Shark created one of the most immersive cooperative combat systems ever made. A game where your awareness matters, your movement matters, your team matters, and when everything finally clicks, Darktide delivers moments no other shooter can replicate. This is Warhammer 40k Darktide. At its core, Darktide is a 4-player cooperative horde shooter built around melee combat, positioning, and team coordination. The gameplay loop is straightforward. You queue into missions, fight through large enemy populations, complete objectives, extract, improve your build and weapons, then repeat at higher difficulties. What makes the game stand out is not the structure of the loop itself, but the quality of the combat system inside that loop. Unlike most shooters, Darktide does not rely purely on damage output or aim. Melee combat is a core mechanic rather than a secondary backup system. Weapons have detailed movesets with different attack chains, cleave values, stagger strength, armor penetration, mobility stats, and dodge limits. This means weapons genuinely change how you play. For example, combat knives emphasize mobility, dodging, and single target elimination. Thunderhammer focuses on burst damage and an elite killing. Chainswords balance crowd control with aggressive melee pressure. Heavy weapons on Ogren prioritize stagger and frontline control. The combat system heavily rewards mechanical skill. At high difficulties, players are constantly managing stamina, positioning, dodge timing, blocking, crowd control, elite priority, ranged pressure, and team coherency. Enemy design is one of Darktide's strongest gameplay elements. The game layers multiple threat types simultaneously rather than relying on simple horde spam. A typical combat scenario may include basic hordes overwhelming movement, ranged enemies suppressing the team from distance, armored elites forcing armor-piercing responses, disabler enemies isolating teammates, and bosses disrupting positioning entirely. Because of this layering, combat becomes highly dynamic and decision-focused. Good teams are constantly adjusting formation, repositioning, prioritizing threats, and protecting isolated players. Progression revolves around leveling classes, unlocking talent trees, acquiring weapons, refining builds, and optimizing gear stats and balance blessings. The talent system allows meaningful specialization. Players can build a wide variety of characters around support, survivability, ranged precision, crowd control, aggressive melee, ability spam, or elite deletion and utility. Darktide's difficulty scaling is where the game becomes especially strong. On lower difficulties, the game functions as a fun co-op horde shooter, where you can chill with your friends, have a beer, laugh, and talk about life. On higher difficulties, it becomes a mechanically demanding teamwork game, where positioning and execution matter heavily. One of the reasons Darktide maintains a dedicated player base is that the combat system continues rewarding improvement even after hundreds, and in my case, thousands of hours into this game. Mechanical mastery noticeably increases survivability and efficiency far more than gear alone. Ultimately, Darktide succeeds because the gameplay loop is built around combat that remains consistently engaging. Players return primarily because the core moment-to-moment gameplay is satisfying, responsive, and skill-expressive, rather than because of artificial progression systems or arbitrarily rewards like loot boxes. And to top this all off, the game also has insane variety. It allows multiple modes of playing, some of which are more casual, other which are hardcore for the audience which likes to push the limits of their builds and push the limits of their own player skill to beat the game at insane difficulties. Also, there is the roguelike mode and many others. And if that hasn't convinced you yet, you can also have multiple ways of playing your character. There are 6 classes in the game, soon there is going to be a 7th one, and you can play each of these classes in a huge variety of ways. Hope you enjoyed this video and hope this has convinced you to buy the game. It often goes on sale on Steam for half the price, which is just insane value for the amount of content you're getting for free. There is no subscription, there is no nothing. You just buy it and have just an infinite replayability in this game. I have 1,500 hours. Soon I'm probably gonna have 2,000. I strongly recommend this game. It's so underrated.